Hey there, it's Dr. Nadia, and welcome to another episode of Straight Talk About Sales with Dr. Nadia. And we are continuing our conversation on preparing for 2018. So in the last episode, I talked about getting clear on your freedom number. What is that number that's going to either free you in doing something different or leveraging more of your time in your business? And or if you're still in a job, what is that number that would enable you to leave it on your terms when you got ready? So today I wanted to continue that conversation and just kind of walk through some of the things that I think that we sometimes fall short in considering as we plan for our businesses. So a lot of times we may look at, here's again that revenue number, a number I want to hit. But what does it take to hit that number and really looking at a bigger picture? So I actually put together some PowerPoint slides that I'm going to bring up in a second. But first, I have a couple disclaimers. One, I'm not a tax professional. So make sure that, as you're putting together your plan, you include a tax professional, even if they're not on your team full time, making sure that you sit down and ask pertinent questions to make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do to stay out of trouble with the IRS. Two, I'm not an attorney either. So again, as you're building your business, as you're looking at different things, make sure that if you have any legal questions or concerns that you are consulting someone on your team, even if they're not full-time and it's not a regular conversation, to make sure that you're covering yourself even from a legal perspective. So not that I plan to go into too much of that today, but just in case, I want to put that out there. So let me grab PowerPoint. We're going to just dive into a couple things that I want you to consider as you're pulling together your plan. So first, as I mentioned with the freedom number, you have a revenue goal, right? So we set goals. I don't know about you, but I love to set some really big goals. And when I was first doing this, so there will be a part 2 to this discussion as we continue this, but I just left it blank. And I left it blank for a reason. So I threw out a hypothetical number of $1 million as an annual company revenue goal. So that's top line revenue for the company that your company brings in, cash on hand, cash received, like receivables, not promised, but receives within that calendar year. Put in your own revenue goal, whatever that revenue goal may look like for you. But here's some things that I really want you to start thinking about, because a lot of times we'll just say, oh, my revenue goal is $1 million. And I may think about what I have to sell or how many clients I need or whatever that looks like in terms of getting that. But we don't necessarily go a little bit deeper into that conversation around costs and expenses, around what it really takes to do that. So I really want you to spend some time as we near the end of the year getting clear on some of these things. Again, this list is not all inclusive. There will be things that I will mention that won't necessarily be relevant for you and your business depending on where you are. And then there are things that I won't mention that you'll be like, oh my gosh, Dr. Nadia, what about that? So I want you to make this your own, but I definitely wanted to create something as a starting point for us to really start to look at these things and what it really takes to build the businesses that we desire. So first of all, how much are you paying you? That's what this whole first slide is all about. I had this big old revenue goal. How much of that $1 million is coming to my house that is paying me, that is going into my personal bank account because I'm paying myself a salary. And part of the reason why a lot of times as entrepreneurs we get burned out is because we're putting so much into our business, we're doing all these things, and we're like, well, I don't even see the fruit because you left you out of the equation. I was talking to a client today as we're planning out her 2018, and those were some of the things. I'm like, a lot of mistakes, and making sure we consider this as you're looking at doing different events and expenses. Make sure you include you in that, your time, your energy, your effort, especially those of you that host events and things like that. So definitely taking all of that into consideration. And so that's why I put it first. One, I need that reminder. So I'm definitely not coming from a place of judgment. This is called a school of hard knocks. Made that mistakes one too many times. So definitely, what is your salary? What would you like to bring home each year? And then, all those other expenses you can take care of in your business, and what amount will you then reinvest in your business? But, pay yourself. Taxes. Again, I'm not a tax professional, so that's why a lot of these are blank, because it may, even if you have $1 million business, you may say, I want to bring home $250,000, and somebody else say, you know what, for this year, I only want to bring home 125 because we have some aggressive goals, and maybe I want to reinvest more of that. So again, this is for you. Taxes, whatever that percentage looks like. And again, that's going to be based on some decisions that you make, your business structure, and depending on your business structure is taxed differently. Call your tax professional to make sure you stay out of trouble. And then if you tithe or you have philanthropic organizations that you like to donate or give to, thinking about what those numbers look like and really starting to put together the plan. Like, if I do this amount in revenue, now, okay, I can break some of these things down and start to think through that as you're planning out 2018. Who do you need on your team? Because this is the other thing. And I get it. There are times, especially when most of you really start out and you're getting going, it's you. You are like all things to all people. And so that doesn't need to always be the case. And as you're growing and really building your business, who do you need on your team to help you? That could look like a virtual or even a personal or both assistance in terms of having someone helping with administrative tasks. Online business manager for those that are building online businesses and you want to have somebody that manages that piece for you. Operations person, project manager, graphic designer, because a lot of us are leveraging social media, different marketing, all that kind of stuff. I don't know about you, but that's not my gift. So I definitely would love to have somebody on my team. And again, as you're looking at your team and your business where you are, I really want you to think about, is it full-time, part-time? What does that look like? And start filling in some numbers, like, do the homework. Maybe it's time in 2018 that I do start to bring on some people onto my team to help me get to that revenue goal, because I'm spinning my wheels trying to get there by myself. And if I had 1 or 2 team members as we go through this list, that could be total game changer. Like, you don't necessarily have to go out and hire 27 people. A lean team and having the right people on your team can totally change your business. So really thinking through that. And, take a look at, this is actually a homework assignment I gave to one of my clients as we're preparing for her strategy day to map out her 2018. And I was like, you know what? You're doing a lot of stuff. And she has some team members, and I was, but still there's a lot of things on her plate that she has not relinquished, delegate is not a cuss word. There are things that you can let go. And I told her, I just want you to make a list of all the things that you do. All the things that you do. And then I want you to go back and check those things or highlight those pieces that only you can do. Like, if I, as the CEO of this business, these are things that I need to be doing. And maybe it's the vision, maybe it's speaking, maybe it's, being the face of the brand, whatever that looks like for you. I want you to go and highlight whatever those pieces are. Because you writing your blogs, you may not be the best person for that. It may be something on your plate, but that might be something for a content person on your team. Or, again, as you're looking at who you have on your team. So then I said, and then when we get together, we're going to go through to decide, those are the things that you get to keep. But then who on your current team that you can leverage and delegate some of those pieces to? Who do we maybe need to bring onto the team, and what kind of restructuring do we need to do? So again, there are some things that we just do automatically by default, especially if you know how to do it. That doesn't necessarily mean you're the right person to do it, in terms of, that your time may be better spent doing something else. So as you're looking at 2018 and you're doing a year in review for 2017, think about what are those things that I can let go of, and who can I pass those things off to, and how do I position myself to do that? Because I know a lot of times you're probably thinking, okay, Dr. Nadia, this sounds great, and I would love to have all these people on my team, but how am I going to pay them? So again, as you're starting to structure your 2018, you set milestones. You put together your growth strategy. Like, as I hit this, or when I'm here, I'm preparing to launch this, that's when I bring these people in. So again, I'm not saying that in January 2018 that there's this mass, hiring thing that takes place. And if you're not, because if you do it too soon, take it from me, been there, done that, it can be a lot of pressure if you make that move too soon. And sometimes it is kind of like, I don't know, it can be a very delicate decision, but I want you to at least start thinking about it and start planning for it. And so that you don't wait until you're up to here and now you're drowning, and then you just pick someone because you're desperate. So you can be very strategic about how you build your team, build your business, build your brand, okay? Some other potential team members, you're a web person, tech person. Just because you know how to build web pages and landing pages doesn't mean you're the best person for it. I have a degree in computer engineering. There are things that I can do in theory, but that's not the best use of my time. Salesperson, maybe it's time for you to bring on sales support. A coach, a business coach, a professional development coach, both, really looking at what does that take in order to move your business forward. If you're hosting events, event planner, event manager, all of those different pieces for that. And also legal, again, I mentioned having an attorney, very important. Bookkeeper, accountant, your tax professional. Don't think that's on here. I have business coach twice, and then I throw in your health coach and on your personal trainer, because here's what I know: if your health is janky, your business is janky too. And so no amount of wealth can replace your health. So definitely making sure that you're a priority, that you can continue to grow and build your business, and you're not a hot, burnt out mess by the end of the year, because you haven't done what you needed to do to take care of yourself. And then also just thinking about some other expenses. I was talking to a colleague earlier, and I said, one of the things in a gap, and I've probably done this, so it's not coming from a place of judgment, it's coming from a place of, been there, and it's a gap that I saw even for myself, is when you're putting together your revenue strategy, and you've probably seen those examples, like if you get 10 clients at $100,000 and then boom, $1 million. That is true. That is very true. 10 times $100,000 equals 1 million. That part is absolutely accurate. That's the math. I love math. However, here's a big piece that we're missing. Looking at what it really takes to get there in terms of people, but also other expenses. What is the cost of client acquisition? You hear a lot of gurus or people talking about Facebook ads, and you need to do LinkedIn ads and SEO and Google clicks and good Lord funnels and all this other good stuff. What is the cost of all that? Like, none of that is free. What is the cost of that? What is the cost of your client acquisition? Have you really sat down and looked at your numbers to see how much it really costs you to acquire a client? Because if you did, many of us would probably work a little bit harder to hold on to the ones we have. So again, client acquisition, client retention, those are all expenses. What are you doing to nurture those relationships with your clients? And again, thinking about that dollars and cents. Systems. I've been seeing it a lot. I think people are starting to do those systems audits as we approach the end of the year. And it's like, I'm paying $49 here and $15 there and not $79 over here. And I'm not leveraging these different systems. All of that starts to add up. Some of these systems can be hundreds of dollars per month, plus a person to help manage that. So you're talking, well over $20,000 a year in terms of expenses and systems to make your business run. So again, are those the right systems? Are they the right fit for your business? Are you leveraging them the best way? And really looking at those expenses, because again, those are some of the costs you have to consider when you're looking at your revenue, and then what you take home, and then all that other stuff in terms of, like expenses for your business. Travel. Do you leverage any travel in your business, whether it's for mastermind retreats, professional development, speaking, all of the above? It costs. There's an expense, to doing what you have to do to get on the plane, to fly there, to pay for the hotel, to pay for food, to pay for admission, or to hop in your car. Gas isn't free. So really taking a minute to look at all of that. Networking groups that you may be a part of, any associations, membership dues, taking a moment to really look at all of these pieces that sometimes we overlook when we're looking at our goals. And we look at them later at the end of the year, or when we are looking at terms of our numbers, but do you take into account what that really looks like and how this is going to play in getting to that number? So for example, if this year you were at 750,000 and next year you're thinking, okay, we want to get to 1 million, what is it going to take in terms of getting there? Is that going to take an increase in your marketing budget? Is that going to take an increase in your travel budget or your sponsorships? Are you going to make some changes in team members? Maybe it's different team members or new team members. Really taking a look at that, and then also adding that dollar amount so you can really look at your numbers and have a more holistic look at it. I mentioned professional development and training. Your office space, not everyone can work as effectively inside the home that may not make sense for you. So you may actually have some overhead there. Any equipment that we need to purchase, any of your technology, your laptops and all of that kind of stuff. I can't even begin to think of that. And then also vacation. Like, what are you doing for your mental health in terms of taking care of you? And again, what does that look like? How you're going to do that based on your business structure. There are some things that you can work that in there. But just looking at that from a big picture. So I want you to take some time as you're continuing to map out 2018 and look at, team, what is that really going to look like in terms of our overall strategy, but also your bottom line? Because again, you think it's one way and then you have these things that pop up and you're unprepared, or you're wondering like, where the heck did all my money go? Because I thought it was just so simple as doing the 10 times whatever number to get to that magic number. And no, there are some, some costs, some expenses, some blood and tears and sweat equity that may go into that to get to that top line revenue number. And then also don't forget you in terms of your actual salary. So then you just tally all of that up. Anything that I left out, be sure to add it. Anything that you're like, Dr. Nadia, I'm not there, or girl, I need 2 or 3 of those people on my team. Again, making sure to make those adjustments. But I want us to take the time to really look at this more holistically as we're calculating our numbers and really get a grasp of what it really takes to grow. A lot of times we say, all I have to do is create this landing page and create my $49 product and put it out there and I can make X amount of dollars per month. That's true, but what is the cost of that? Like, how much do you have to spend in Facebook ads? Is your Facebook ad budget adequate to get the numbers in order to create that if you don't already have a large enough or thriving community in place to make that happen? So really starting to think through those pieces, because it may mean that you need to implement a different strategy until you get to a certain level of what I like to call your baseline revenue, where, we can keep the lights on, I'm not stressing out, and I have the money and the resources now to be able to invest at that level in order to, maybe now leverage more of my time. So really just thinking about your strategy, your products, your offers, your price points, all of that makes a big difference as you're pulling together your numbers for 2018. So I just wanted to put that out there. I know that we're preparing for next year. Like I said, this is one of my favorite things to do. I love to be that visionary and we get excited. And so I've been doing these sessions with my clients and we just been really having a moment, to dream and think about it. But we're asking ourselves too, the hard question is, what else do we need? What do we need to change? Are there things that we need to invest in that maybe we didn't invest in this year? What are our strategies? What do those really look like so that we can hit the numbers that we desire to hit and beyond? Because it would be awesome to actually exceed those numbers too. So get your homework done. Next time I'll put in some numbers and also just some other things to consider. If you have any questions, feel free to respond, to send me an email. You can reach me at drnadia@doyenneleadership.com, and I will be more than happy to address any questions, or if you have questions for future videos, let me know and I'll answer those and I'll get those out to you. So this is Dr. Nadia. Get your plan done, get those numbers calculated, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.